Hello everyone and welcome to another video here on the Cycling Dane Extra channel or if you're listening on the Cycling Dane podcast. And today, as always, I'm joined by Patrick Blake of Outdo Cycling, and this is our first one about the Tour de France 2026. We're already in 25, but yeah, the party keeps going. Patrick, we have some certainties and a lot of uncertainties. This is basically us getting through some of the rumors before that the route is announced later in Paris. But yeah, Tour de France, last year we had it pretty much within France, or this year within France, not crossing any borders. We've seen the Grand Départ here, there, and everywhere, Denmark even, and Yorkshire. Anyway, Patrick, yeah, Barcelona, what do you kind of think of these kind of things?
Yeah, I think it's, well, much to your delight, is going to start with a team time trial. That is confirmed, absolutely written in the books. Although we were talking last time, there was a team time trial around Barcelona, was in the Vuelta, when it was that nighttime one where it was raining, and there's that famous kind of Evenepoel going up to the cameras saying it was just a complete joke, basically. So hopefully it's not like that again for the riders and just the general race's sake. But a team time trial in the Tour for the first time in, I want to say was it 20?
19.
Yeah, I was going to say it was the edition where Turnison took the first stage, wasn't it?
Yeah, in
I remember
Brussels.
that. Yeah, I remember that having a team time trial. So I think that might have been the last time we had one. So it's a good, well, by the time this 26th edition comes around, it's going to be, what, like 8 years? Something like that, since we've had a team time trial. So it's a long time coming, which is great to see. And no doubt you'll be happy about that.
Well, I would kind of, well, I say this all the time. I would prefer it on stage 18 because then it's really ruthless because some teams will only have four riders there and they have to make it inside the time cut. But obviously, they're never going to do that. And they're never going to do it up a mountain either. That would be funny as well. But no, it's a great way to start a race for sure. Makes the yellow jersey a bit tense within like each team who's going to be the first rider to finish across the line, because like in the 2019 the Brussels edition, obviously they had the road stage before and then they had the team time trial, so it was a bit different.
It's worth noting that we do actually have a stage profile already for the course. Obviously, going around Barcelona, it starts pretty much just kind of on the water's edge, goes into the city, and it's pretty untechnical, just a lot of 90-degree sort of bends. But then we do go up the Côte du Montjuïc, which is, for those who are a bit more cycling nerdy, will remember this from the circuit lap around Barcelona in the Volta Catalunya. So I think that's just, it might not be the exact same side. It's 1.1 Ks at 5.1%, a bit of a descent, and then it actually goes up to the Côte du Stade Olympique, which is 800 meters at 7%. So it's not quite your mountain team time trial on stage 18 that you're hoping for, Scott, but it does have some pretty serious climbing in there. It's not going to be a straightforward team time trial, so I think it's going to be a pretty zesty first stage.
Yeah, not your traditional one for sure, but yeah, they have listened a bit. I'll give you that. But yeah, we might as well move on to stage two. And what does that look like for the riders?
So it goes from Tarragona to Barcelona, 178 Ks, a very flat first half of the race, the first 80 Ks, all on the coast. But then we head inland to the Côte de, I guess, 6 Ks, 6%, and then into Barcelona, where we're taking multiple laps of that same Volta Catalunya lap circuit around the Côte de Montjuïc. So I think it'd be really cool to see that. We obviously all sort of know how it goes in the Volta Catalunya after a week. It'd be interesting to see how it being used in a Grand Tour setting perhaps might make, it's going to be pretty electric because we know how hard that climb is. We've seen, riders really lighting it up on there in the past, and I think it's going to be a big punchier affair, and kind of like what we had at the beginning of the Tour this year, lots of short punchy efforts. Basically, the organisers want a playground where Pogacar's going to go a little bit crazy and put in some digs, and him versus Van der Poel and Vingegaard and Evenepoel. And this is going to be a really good stadium for that sort of battle.
Yeah, I think the Vuelta Catalunya will also have a very interesting start line. Obviously, that race is also owned by ASO, that own Tour de France, so you can see why yeah, you might actually get some big superstars this year or in 2026 to just test the racing sense as well. But I mean, now, Patrick, we're getting into the more murky part of this. Okay, we got Champs-Élysées is confirmed again, so we're going back to Champs-Élysées. Whether Montmartre is being used again, obviously a lot of critique we know from Jonas Vingegaard, from other riders, it was kind of saved by the fact that it was raining. And to be honest, having been to Montmartre last week, Vingegaard kind of has a point. It's very hard to get 180 riders up those narrow streets. So yeah, maybe we're a bit critical at the time when he said it, but I think, yeah, he probably had a point. But that aside, yeah, where are we going from Barcelona, do you think? I mean, it looks like on the map, we might be going into potentially a third country in total.
It does sort of look like we're heading towards Andorra, and it's not going to. So, just as a consequence, we are heading towards mountains towards the end of this stage, full stop. So, it's not going to be a sprint by the looks of things, unless they just go through a tunnel or something, which I don't even know if that exists. But the rumours are, well, it's confirmed by, according to La Flamme, well, it depends where you want to get your information. You can get it from like La Flamme Rouge or Velo Wire or what's this website called Freewheeling France. But apparently it's going to finish in Les Anglais, which is a kind of mountain resort kind of thing. But it's definitely starting in Granollers, which is in Spain. So, but that's a confirmed start. We don't know where the finish is going to be. It's fairly certain it's going to be Les Anglais, but we'll Angles, whatever you want to say. That's pretty much what we know about stage 3.
Looks like we're basically getting the Pyrenees out of the way in the beginning, but then potentially here. Pole, I can see there. Looks like it's going to be used for something. I'm not sure if that's a time trial that we're going to have in the mountains yet again.
Yeah, I think it will be in the mountains. So it's not going to be an easy. This is just making me immediately realize this is not going to be the. It's not another sprinter-friendly start to the Tour de France. So if I kind of makes me question like, where are these flatter stages? There's not going to be loads of them in this race, especially if the Champs-Élysées takes in Montmartre again.
Yeah, it looks like until what, stage 6 or 7, the stage going what I think Pau to Bordeaux, that would be our first sprint of, well, maybe there's one kind of nestled in there as well, connecting the mountains. So maybe 2 stages by the time we're at stage 6, 7 for the sprinters.
Well, the rumour is that the stage so like stage, and after stage 4, it likes we go Limoux to Foix, which are with a possible mountaintop finish again on stage 4. Stage 5 is just unknown, seemingly. We know we start in Lavelanet, but we could go anywhere. But might be a sprint. And apparently the post stage finishes actually goes kind of down south again into the Pyrenees. Apparently finishing up the Col de Tentes. I'm just saying it in any single kind of iteration that I can, seemingly. So, but plenty of mountains to be going at actually in the first week. But you are right. I mean, there is going to be a stage finishing probably on stage 7 in Bordeaux. I think that's pretty confirmed. We don't know what the start town will be, but yeah, Bordeaux sprint on stage 7.
Right. Okay. Then we're moving. Well, this route is more very south of France. Obviously, we had Lille starting last year, so maybe this is them as a consequence moving the race further down. And yeah, wine territory again. I mean, most of it's wine territory. Very close to Limoges as well, where we were in 2022. Well, not really that close. What do you make of these stages in the middle? And then we go up to Wards and Nevers as well.
Well, stage 8 is rumoured to go from Bergerac to Périgueux. Not Périgord, like where we had the mountain TT. Périgueux, something like that. And then stage 9 from Malmort to Ussel. I think it's just going through that central Massif Central, which from a stage as I remember there in the past, it's like not mountaintop finishes. It's just good terrain, I think, for breakaways. I think you're going to have probably medium mountain stages in there. because we've already had quite a lot of GC action by this point. We're going to have had like 2 mountaintop finishes, possibly a team time trial, and some pretty tricky stages around Barcelona too. So this is probably going to be the first opportunity for the break to do something, I think, on stages 8 and 9, and then we go into a rest day.
Yeah, so week 2 then, I can already see one thing that I want to skip ahead forward to, but you can be more metaphorical. I'm looking at La Planche de Belles Filles. We haven't seen that for a while. Yeah.
When was the last time we saw it?
Was it 2020?
It was, I mean, Poggy won ahead of, no, it wasn't 20.
No, it wasn't. Yeah,
Poggy win
right.
ahead of Vingegaard. I think it was, I want to say it was 22.
Yeah, 22, yeah. Yeah, because they went up the Super Planche. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Am I going to use the Super Planche or just a regular?
I thought the Super Planche finish in 22 was amazing watching, and those last few, a minute, 2 minutes of the climb was, I was at the edge of my seat. So if they use that again, that would be amazing. Okay, the road, they did clean it up a lot compared to when I went there a month before the race. So it wasn't as savage as people were thinking in terms of the gravel. But
yeah, I think they will probably use it though. Like the Super Planche de Belles Filles, I mean, because they've got this strange relationship with wanting to just use the Planche de Belles Filles. It's just been in the race quite a bit. So, and like you say, if they've made that whole effort to make the road up to the top, there's no way they're not going to use it again. So apparently that's rumoured for stage 14, so towards the back end of this week, of this second week. Apparently we're kicking off that second week, stage 10, with Aurillac to Le Lioran, so another mountaintop finish, and then probably a series of sprint stages for stages 11, 12, 13. Start towns are a little bit patchy, but sprints in Nevers, Chalon-sur-Saône, and then into Belfort, and then stage 14 will be La Planche de Belles Filles. Stage 15 is a little bit patchy as well. We don't really know. Might start in Besançon. We don't really know where it's finishing yet, though. But like you say, the kind of main thing people are looking for is the Planche de Belles Filles in that second week.
Wasn't Besançon the place where they had the Cyclocross World Cup, World Championships recently?
I think so, yeah.
It looks like we're not going to be dipping into Switzerland, but what about week 3? Obviously, certain iconic climb might be coming back, and you've already made arrangements of your 2026 plans because of that.
Yeah, I've already got my Airbnb booked, so you snooze, you lose, people. This very strong rumor, and the thing which I am banking my Airbnb booking on solely, is that Alpe d'Huez is going to be coming back in 2026. Obviously, because the last time we had it was stage finish was in 2022 when Pidcock won up there. And
you appeared on Netflix.
I did appear on Netflix because I was screaming at him at the side of the road. That was a great day, and I want to replicate that. I think that's going to be a great stage again. And we generally see it's like every 4 years you see Alpe d'Huez, which is why, quick maths. It was 4 years, or it will have been 4 years ago when the Pidcock won up there. So therefore, it makes sense that it's coming back. And even just like people like boots on the ground, like people who are just renting the Airbnbs, the people in the bike shops, the people up at the top of Alpe d'Huez in cafes and stuff. When I spoke to them about it this year, they said, it is pretty much coming back, like almost a certainty. Therefore, unless they really put it in that second week somehow, or kind of, mess with this arrangement that we've got laid out here, it should be in this final week. Now, the rumor is that it's going to be either on stage 17 on the 22nd, or it'll be on the Friday the 24th. We don't know what the start town will be if it's on the stage 17, but if it's in stage 19, it'll start in Gap and then go to Alpe d'Huez. Likely stage 18 will start in Bourg d'Oisans at the foot of Alpe d'Huez. Also why I'm going, because I get like 2 stages for the price of 1. Might even try to catch one on the way down. I've got a logistical thing going on in my head right now as to how I can maximize the tour next year. So anyway, Alpe d'Huez stage starts in Bourg the day after, and kind of the other stages around that apparently stage 16, there's going to be an individual time trial, which is going to finish of the Plateau de Soleil-Saint, which we saw 2 years ago. That was the one where Pogacar, do you remember one where Pogacar won and he just kind of taken his hands off the bars and it made it look like he was just out for a joyride? It was the one that I think Adam Yates attacked early and Pog bridged up to him, if you remember. I think that one, apparently an individual time trial up there. So the Tour's on a bit of a high when it comes to uphill individual time trials. So it's going to be pretty electric last week with that time trial, the Alpe d'Huez stage, maybe another mountain stage, and then we'll see what happens. Stages kind of 19, 20.
I mean, it would have been great to have an Alpe d'Huez time trial mountain.
Oh, imagine.
You would see every single rider going up one by one. That would be pretty cool.
I would lose my voice halfway through easily as I'm just sat there sipping on my Oasis and munching on multiple croissants. Yeah, a great day.
I mean, fair play. If you get a fresh croissant on Alpe d'Huez, it's quite far away from a boulangerie. Is there anything else in that final week? Obviously, Paris, as we said, whether or not Montmartre is back in the equation or if it was just used as a bit of a novelty last year, who knows? But yeah, what do you think? Other than that,
yeah, apparently, so the stage which starts in Bourg d'Oisans, stage 18, will finish up the Orsières Merlet, which is just northeast of Gap. And we'll wait and see how. I think that is pretty confirmed that it'll start there. So that's why it's all kind of adding up, is that if there's an Alpe d'Huez stage, it'll start in Bourg, and then that mountaintop finish is kind of confirmed, so it just logistically makes sense. Yeah, the Gap stage probably end in a sprint, or maybe it might be some medium mountain sort of day because there is some hills, and there was definitely some hills around there for sure. Probably not massive ones. Stage 20 should be a sprint, and then, like we said, we don't know what it's going to be on the Champs-Élysées, whether it'll be Montmartre or not. I don't think they would do it 2 years in a row, right? I think they'd probably revert back. This is just based on pure just a hunch. I reckon it'll just be a normal one, and they'll do like a 1 year off, 1 year on, 1 year off sort of thing. I don't see them putting it in there continuously.
No, it looks like a good week, but holy moly, what a transfer they'll have to do from stage 20 to stage 21.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be huge, right? Maybe they fly from Lyon to Paris.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Would that even be worth it at that point? Would that actually be that much faster than just driving? It might, like, when you get through baggage and everything.
They'd probably just put their riders on. And so I think on a Lyon to Paris flight that evening, that will be a mental craziness if you're a cycling fan, seeing Pogacar, Vingegaard, and Remco walking on the plane.
Can you imagine? Poggy will have a private jet though.
Yeah, probably.
Easy. I swear he already gets flown around like private jet style.
He'll get one of his F1 buddies to lend their
jet. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I reckon he would do.
But I mean, that is kind of the rumours. Patrick, obviously, apart from Alpe d'Huez, what part of this route really excites you? Obviously, team time trialing with that bit of a profile as you added in as well really is interesting, but I would wanted probably deeper into the race. That would have made it a bit more exciting. I am sadistic. I want it stage 18, but even just further in and then have a prologue. So you have a prologue and then there's team time trial just to increase the kilometers in the team and the time trial, because we haven't had a prologue for how many years?
Was Lampart's victory? Was that a prologue? Was that a TT? Well, that might have been just over 10k. I think prologue was probably 2017. Geraint Thomas won the first stage. It was absolutely dreadful weather. Valverde crashed into a barrier.
But wasn't that also a time trial?
I don't know. I think it was a prologue.
Okay. Because, I mean, the Denmark one, it's just over a prologue, I think.
I think in terms of what I'm looking forward to, I'm really looking forward to like stages 2 and 3 with the circuit around up to Montjuic. I think that'll be really cool. Seeing it outside of a Volta Catalunya with Tour de France kind of sized peloton going around, I think that'll be really cool.
No, yeah, I completely agree. I think it hopefully should be a really good Grand Départ in Barcelona. I mean, the Bilbao one delivered, so why not this? But anyways, with that, that's basically it for our reaction to Rumours and trying to dissect what the route's going to be. Maybe it's not going to be anything like this and we're going to get a double ascent of Mont Ventoux. I mean, they've done that already, but it would be absolutely amazing to do again. But anyways, with that, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, smash the like button, comment down below if you know anything that we didn't say, and of course check out Patrick's own channel, How Do Cycling. And of course, as always, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.